A rather significant question with regards to the Division has been, what exactly is the endgame? What do you do? Well, let's talk about it. The game is more like Diablo than it is Destiny with regards to its endgame. When you reach level 30, you unlock daily missions. Every day, a select number of missions will be available on hard mode and on challenge mode. The hard mode turns every enemy into a level 31 purple health bar enemy. The rewards are typically a lot of credits and a level 30 rare blue quality item. The challenge mode, on the other hand, turns everything into a ravenous murder machine. Level 32 elite enemies fill the mission and they are very, very deadly. You can expect to take around 40 to 60 minutes when completing an average challenge mode, and upwards of 2 hours completing some of the harder ones when first starting out. Even with top quality gear, you're not really likely to just blast your way through a challenge mode like you can blast your way through something like a Nightfall for you Destiny players. The challenge mode, however, rewards a guaranteed high-end item along with 30 Phoenix credits. What is a Phoenix credit, you might ask? I'll explain. Phoenix credits are essentially an endgame currency along with Dark Zone credits. Phoenix credits are earned from completing challenge mode missions and from killing named elites. The named elites can be from anywhere, missions, the Dark Zone, or even randomly in the world. They used to reward about 5 to 15 credits per kill, but this was actually nerfed on March 12th. They now only reward 1 to 3 credits per kill, meaning you need to kill at least 10 named enemies for it to be equal to one run of a challenge mode. Note that the level of the named enemy does not matter with regards to how many credits you get. They all reward the same range, at least as of the making of this video. You can spend Phoenix credits in a few ways. The first is by the Special Gear vendor. This vendor sells some of the best stuff that you can get in the game. It's where I got this AK-47, for example. The vendor sells basically every type of item that you can imagine: gear, weapons, and blueprints. Note that the Special Gear vendor is different from the Advanced Weaponry vendor who sells endgame items for regular credits, not Phoenix credits. Phoenix credits can also be used to purchase things from Dark Zone vendors. The only caveat is that you need the proper Dark Zone rank to actually buy said items. Finally, Phoenix credits can be used at the recalibration station. In order to re-roll a high-end armor piece bonus, you need to use Phoenix credits as opposed to regular credits, and it is not cheap to do so be very sure that you want to re-roll something before attempting. Next, we have the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone at level 30 turns into a potentially very dangerous place in some of the higher DZ areas, namely 05 and 06. Enemies in the 5 and 6 areas are mainly level 32 elites, and the lower the zone, the easier the enemies. Killing named enemies is generally going to be the thing you want to prioritize while in the Dark Zone. Rolling solo is not really recommended because it will take a very long time to kill anything in the higher level Dark Zones. You can manage yourself pretty easily in DZ01 and DZ02 if you're by yourself, but once you start crawling north, it gets a little bit harder. You can, of course, kill other players to see if they had anything good, but it might end up being more hassle than it's worth. In the first week of the game, I rarely saw anyone patrolling the highest level Dark Zones, but I imagine these areas will get much more populated as more people level to max. At Dark Zone rank 30 and rank 50, you'll unlock the ability to buy items from specific vendors. These items are all endgame items, but generally speaking, you'll need rank 30 to unlock superior gear options, and you'll need rank 50 to unlock high-end gear options. Note that the DZ06 vendor requires Phoenix credits, like I mentioned earlier. This is similar to the Special Items vendor in that both of these vendors sell the best stuff in the game due to item level. For example, high-end items from most of the vendors have a stat cap of 514. That's the highest you can get for your stamina, firearms, or electronics. From the DZ06 vendor and the Special Item vendor, the cap is 575. This is because the item level of the high-end items from the DZ06 and Special Item vendors are item level 31, as opposed to item level 30 from all of the other vendors. Keep an eye out for that when trying to max out your character. Finally, coming in April is Falcon Lost, the first of what I assume to be many Incursions. Incursions are 4-player missions that are heavily focused on team play. If you're a Destiny player, you're probably thinking, oh, it's a raid, but we don't exactly know that for sure. A gear score of 150 is the minimum recommended, although gear score is not exactly a thing that's shown on the UI right now. It's probably going to be patched in April. It'll be a safe bet to say that being in full superior and high-end gear is probably going to be required. Going through the rest of the year, it seems like more modes and incursions will be added to the game. New challenge modes, new Dark Zone activities, gear sets, and more are all being added gradually throughout the year, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with the endgame. A full Year 1 roadmap of The Division is in the description if you'd like to read more about it, but I'll be covering it as best as I can as we move into the future. That is basically the current endgame in The Division. We'll talk more about it in future videos, but like I said earlier, The Division is much more reminiscent of something like Diablo than it is of Destiny with regards to how its endgame works. So if you're familiar with Diablo, The Division will feel very similar. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.